I remember many years ago I asked my mom, how do I make bannock? I would like to make fried bannock for myself one of these times. And she said, I'll show you how. First of all, I put 3.5 cups of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then I take 3 heaping tablespoons of baking powder. That's 3 heaping tablespoons of baking powder. Okay, I stir up the ingredients, the dry ingredients, stir them up well, and then I make a little hole in the middle, a little crater, I'd like to call it. I take 2¼ cups of warm water, not cold water, but warm water, and then I start to mix the ingredients. As you can see on the side, I'm using a measuring cup. Sometimes I just guess, but today, for today's sake, for today's tutorial, I'm going to use a measuring cup. So I stir it nice, move it around a little bit, toss some more water in there. Work that dough around the edges. Make sure you get it all out of there. Try to anyway. I continue to work that dough, make sure I get it all. Add it. After I pour the water, I really work that dough. Make sure I get all the dough off the edges. Moving it around with the spoon. Then after that's done, I take it out of the bowl. Move it around a little bit. Toss it around a little bit inside there. Throw it on the counter. But before I toss it onto the counter, I move it around a little bit, kneading it. Kneading it nice and good. Make sure it's not all sticky. And I knead it some more. Toss some flour onto the counter. Make sure it doesn't stick to the counter because it's hard to get off the counter once. So I knead it around. Then I cover the dough for about 15 to 20 minutes under a tablecloth. And then after the 15 or 20 minutes is over, the longer you keep it on there, you can keep it on there for 15, 20, 25 minutes. But I usually keep it under there for 15, 20 minutes. I usually go for 20 though. And then I work up the dough again, start to knead it out, kind of stretch it out onto the counter, make it as flat as I can. Once in a while adding some flour to it. Stretching that dough out a little bit on the counter. Then I put some mazola oil, some canola oil in there. Make sure I put a lot so that it's kind of like deep frying. I'm not just frying in a little bit of oil. So I start to cut them up, make little slots on them, 2 little slots. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll break a piece off and I'll drop it into the oil to make sure the oil is nice and hot. Then after that's done, I walk over and I pick up my dough, make my way back to my frying pan, and then drop my pieces of dough into the oil, the hot oil. And as you can see, they're cooking nicely. One tip though, always make sure your handle is turned away from the edge. So I start to put them all inside the oil and it's cooking, sizzling. Looks good. Right about now, start to turn them over because they're starting to look golden brown on the other side, and they've risen nicely. Wow, they look good. Flip them over again and again. Flip them all over. Let them get nice and brown. Then what I usually do after that is I put them into my bowl, which has paper towel on the bottom so it can absorb some of the oil that is coming off of the fried bread or fried bannock. I could tell just by lifting them up that they're nice and light and that they're cooked well. I make my next batch ready. Start cutting them up. Yummy. That's yummy. Flip them over again, make sure they're nice and brown. They almost look like donuts floating in some hot oil. Yummy, they look good. Grab another one, walk over, and just drop it in there. Careful I don't burn. It happened to me once. When I was making bannock, I forgot to put my shoes on, and some grease splashed me on the foot. Youch. That hurt. Here we go. They look good. Nice and brown. Nice and golden brown. On this particular night, I was cooking some fish, boiling some potatoes, and had a good supper. Now, I put the rest of the dough in the rest of the bannock dough inside of the oil and cook it well. That looks good. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.